Coming at you live from DNHQ in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is the Blue Angry Podcast. We are powered by the Overtime Podcast Network. We are powered by Pacifico Today, and we are powered by Anger, as always. My name is
Anger usually red?
Yes. Well, the record button says red and all that. So my name is Clint. You can find me as RealFRG on Twitter and Instagram.
That's a good place to find you. You're angry on there, too, just like
Yes,
in real life.
yes.
My name is Brooke. You can find me as BrookeMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. Equally angry. Angry.
Yeah.
Angry's a word.
Hangry.
Hangry's a word. I'm also hangry. Today's show, we got a whole lot to grab about.
Oh, boy, dudes. We're going to be joined by our friend of the Orange County Register fame. And as I found out last night on the Dodgers Access Dodgers show or whatever, he was one time a celebrity baseball or softball player at the Dodger Stadium. So clearly something went wrong in somebody's life at that point. But Bill Plunkett's going to be joining us. Astros Judgment Day was the big one. That's where we're going to be talking a lot about.
He plays for the Yankees.
Oh.
Judgment.
Wow, I hate you
Aaron
already.
Judgment.
And today, the breaking news, Alex Cora is out with Boston, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to say, that the punishment hasn't come down yet, but he's probably banned from baseball for life. And then we got to talk about the Dodgers, like the future. Alex Wood is back, to which everybody was really happy about, but
Angry about.
Yeah, whatever.
At the same time.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the rotation. We'll see how everything goes. So much more, probably, maybe. But, of course, we got to get a shout-out first to our friends over there in the upper right-hand corner, yes, at sportscaster.com. You can look like a pro, sound like a pro, be a pro. You can be the star of your own show with built-in studio graphics and access to special events. You can do all those things I already said. So if you want to live stream or game, be your own broadcaster, visit sportscaster.com today. That is CASTR.com today. But, of course, after this angry stream.
After the stream, guys, have some respect. We got to be angry on here today. Don't forget, guys, it is a live stream, so let us know where you're repping Dodgers Nations in the chats. Let us know where you're watching from. We have a lot of people jumping in already very angry, very upset, voicing their opinions, want to talk about the punishment issued to Houston, and want to talk about the punishment that's going to be issued to Cora. So let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what's on your mind, because there are a lot of you in, and there are a lot of opinions right now.
Yeah, so the way we're going to run this is we're going to call Bill right now, and then after we're done, we'll kind of all double back together as one big happy family. And I don't know. What are we doing, Gary? We're just being angry, right?
Pretty much.
Therapy session?
It was a good therapy session.
We've had a lot of therapy
Last
sessions
night was
the past couple
amazing
months.
on Twitter, so we can share some stories from there.
Yeah, things have been going well.
Yeah, we're that's part of the survival, you know? All right, it's ringing, boys and girls. This is the part where we don't have a producer. Hey, what's going on, Bill? How you doing, man?
Nothing's going on in baseball, right? There's
Nothing,
to talk
no.
about.
This is the slow part of the off season, I think. Winter,
Right,
the winter lull,
This is when I start packing. Only 4 weeks to go.
and getting ready for your next expert celebrity softball tournament or something like that. I saw you on Sportsnet last night, and I did enjoy your foray into celebrityhood.
Oh, that's only one. That's only one story.
He's got a lot more.
I was a big celebrity for a while. I also played softball with Sonny Bono.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah,
And we all know how that turned out, unfortunately.
he survived the game, but then
The rest was
wasn't as good.
All right, so we got a lot to dig into. We'll get into the Cora and the Red Sox stuff in a minute. First, we have to have you regurgitate a bit about what you've obviously already gone over, and the big thing, which is Houston and just the gut reactions, or I guess now a take two for you in a way of gut reactions for the punishment handed down by MLB. What do you think about just personally? You're here on the internet. Nobody watches. You're perfectly fine to say how you really feel about this, Bill.
I thought the punishment didn't quite fit the crime. Wasn't enough, but I don't know what they could have done more or differently. I mean, the way it is, they hit him in the present with Luhnow and Hinch, and they hit him in the future with the draft picks. They took away as much money as they're allowed to take away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know where you go from there. Take away more draft picks, take away international money.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, you have the one part of it is where this is the first time something like this has come up, so it's really hard to come up with a baseline. And I kind of feel, and Brooke, tell me if I'm wrong on this, I kind of feel like this is a decent baseline punishment. I mean, it would only go up from here.
That was kind of what we had talked about, Bill, was that there wasn't really a precedent for this exact example, and so we were like, it could kind of go either way. Like maybe they get a 6-month ban, maybe they get a 2-year. I don't know what's going to happen. So
the punishment that they did dole out is fairly unprecedented. Mm-hmm. So unprecedented crime, unprecedented punishment. So I guess they did that right. I know. Let's get to the heart of it. Everybody in LA wants the title vacated and somehow, take everything away, repossess the rings,
right?
Delete all the celebratory photos from everyone's phone.
A lot of those celebratory videos and everything too were part of the damning thing that really got them caught with. Yeah. Oh, here's literally the area where they were cheating. Oh, let's throw that on.
Tom Brady was ahead of his time. He destroyed his phone when he got caught doing something.
They were like, "There's something happening." He's like, "I don't have a phone." And I was like, "Oh,
no, phone? What? No, I have no phone. I text. I use carrier pigeon to contact Giselle."
That's exactly how he does it. I believe.
Yeah.
So the thing I'm seeing a lot on Twitter is people are actually, seems like they're happy with the fact that this is now a tainted World Series. You don't need to vacate it. You don't need to take it away, but we get to hold that against you.
I would not use the word happy in connection with Dodger
satisfied
fans in any way.
No, that's never been the case ever. I think now is where more Dodger fans are fighting.
They were already riled up this winter because, they didn't sign Rendon, Cole, and Strasburg and Baumgartner and Donaldson and anybody else that you want to mention.
Well, we got Alex Wood, man. We won the offseason now.
The fan base is unhappy.
Bill, I think one of my favorite things is watching the response to your tweets whenever you have to announce that there's a minor league signing, because you can tell where you're just like, I'm just telling you what's happening.
Yeah, it's every player acquired on by any team, when it's on Twitter, the immediate reaction is, he sucks, he stinks,
Yeah.
That didn't do anything.
Well,
they're not going to win now.
From what I heard, that the Casey Crosby signing single-handedly saves the OC register and got you at least tens of subscribers.
That's what I was going
on Twitter.
for.
That's what you're
we
all
were
about.
just waiting for that to happen.
See, and that's how we're able to afford to get him out here too. We were able to bank up all that money on the Casey Crosby signing, driveline guy. And here we are.
That's how we sold it.
We got the Dodger dude in the stream here saying, take away their fraud title and awards. And obviously that's not something that's going to happen. I don't know.
Really, do you think that would, to everybody who feels that way?
Yeah, we're still not going to be happy.
What is that going to do? Are you going to have a parade the next day down through L.A. to celebrate the paper title? And
we're having a parade at FanFest. It's happening.
Giant asterisks. Are you going to be waving flags with asterisks on them? I don't know when the NCAA does that, vacates titles, take away. It's pointless. You don't rewrite history. Everybody saw the Astros celebrating on the field at Dodger Stadium. That does not get erased. They had their parade. They all have their photos with the trophy. That stuff does not go away. You don't suddenly have a great memory of Yu Darvish pitching 7 shutout innings. I mean, it won't change it.
Bill, this is Gary. There is one thing you could take away, and this is what MLB could do, is the marketing money that they put behind
how do you
behind
do
the
that,
Astros.
though?
Yeah, how do you do
decrease the amount
that?
So what you do is you do it for the long play. You decrease the amount of national attention they get. You decrease the amount of time the stars.
So you take away part of their whatever revenue sharing that they get.
No. You take away.
You get that money
you take away. You take it away. You prevent them from making more money, or prevent them from making as much money as they could have, being a World Series champion.
Give them our TV deal.
Yeah, they made what 66. They made $66 million off like World Series merchandise.
Yeah, but that's
the
just
following year.
That's an estimate. You don't.
No, it's an estimate,
like
but that's more than $5 million, right?
How does that?
Yes, but
really
see,
make?
That's the maximum that MLB
which is fine, and that's why you got to be creative in this punishment. Work within the rules, and
so garnish the wages of all the players until you have their postseason shared back.
And still, even from that, though,
Repossess the rings.
You're telling me you tweet that out, Bill, and the fan base going to be like, hell yeah, we won. This is exactly what we wanted. No, there's never going to be.
You're never going to win this.
Yeah.
But
the ultimate winner is
Jim
Crane. Jim Crane got what he wanted, and now is able to fire. And luckily for Houston, now he's overseeing baseball operations, so that's going to be good.
I don't have a whole lot of animosity for Jim Crane in this. I'm sure he was, like most owners, only peripherally aware of what was going on.
Right.
I don't believe a single word from Jeff Luhnow.
Nope.
He knew exactly what was going on.
You have to.
If he didn't, then he's a pretty bad GM.
Yeah.
And the video that's making its rounds of A.J. Hinch when he was asked specifically about the accusations, and he called them a joke.
Yeah.
We now know A.J. Hinch is not averse to lying because that was a bald-faced lie in front of cameras and everybody. So, Crane, I don't know how much culpability he has in this, but you're right, he did profit from it, and the franchise value is greater now than it was before they won that title. Right. But it's tainted.
It is tainted, but
you can't promote it, in marketing now. Hey, come see the great cheating Astros. Maybe we'll be banging the trash can.
It gives the other owners a license, and they know exactly how much it costs. Throw in a GM manager.
That's not.
That's
not. I've heard that too. That, oh boy, if all I got to do is give up 4 draft picks and write a $5 million check for a World Series, we'll do it. Okay, is there a guarantee?
Yeah,
you get a better chance.
That's true.
There's no guarantee. Things happen.
Is it bad that I'm the most offended at the $5 million fee? I would rather have not seen money thrown in there. Just
$5 million.
It's like, I mean, I understand that's the maximum allowable. Not me, so that makes me even more upset.
It is kind of insulting how low it is.
Yeah,
but
like, hey.
What a shock that Major League Baseball's owners have not authorized the commissioner to take any more of their money. They're not. They're not getting together to vote. Hey, let's let him fine us more.
Who would have guessed?
And they did that in exchange for their silence, I guess. I saw and heard you talk about trying to get a little bit of a blurb from Dave Roberts, who's sort of caught in a very, very precarious spot because he's friends with Hinch, and then we'll get into Cora in a second too. But as much as he wants to say something, and as much as FanFest in a couple of weeks, it's going to be a very awkward time as they're not allowed to say anything, and Stan Kasten is grumpy again. But
Stan's always grumpy. Yeah, he's always loud and grumpy. Trust me,
he's the ultimate boomer over there. We love him. But it's a really tough spot for Dave, and the questions aren't going away, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be somewhere holstered, 4, 5, 6 deep for you come day one at spring training. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? But I don't know, what is your take? What are your thoughts? What is your feelings on the pretty much hey, MLB says you have to keep this hush-hush, no comment. What do you feel about it?
I think they did their best to orchestrate yesterday, and they did a pretty darn good job of it. I mean, they released the statement, and if you read all 10 pages, Manfred tried to answer every question or address every angle from why he didn't discipline any players and things like that. It's all in the 10 pages. And then they allow Jim Crane to have his press conference and be the tough guy and fire Luhnow and Hinch on MLB Network Live. And, they send that out because they want Manfred's voice to be the only voice. They don't want a bunch of competing voices from owners, GMs, players, managers, whoever, saying, criticizing them, because they would have. The grumbling off the record is pretty loud, even as it is. So they did their best to orchestrate it, and the threat of being fined or disciplined if you went against that and said anything was enough to keep everybody quiet. And what are the Dodgers going to say? Kasten, Friedman, Roberts, anybody. Anything they say, and Andrew said this at the GM meetings back in November when this first started breaking, that anything he says now is sour grapes, that his energy is all focused going forward. You can't go back and change history and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's true. I think he has a lot of things to say about it when when they're just hanging out in the office, with his 25-man deep analytics crew or whoever.
Yeah.
When Josh Burns shows up, I'm sure they talk about it. That stuff's going on all over the league, but putting it out publicly would do the Dodgers no good.
Right. Bill, when you read the report, when you read it all, it really sounds like, and I mean, even from their own freaking GM and his own statement, it really sounds like a lot of it happened to be player-driven, which, Hinch kind of plays a little bit of the victim when he's talking about it. And like, I tried, but I didn't try hard enough, I guess. I mean, each player got like, I don't know, what was it, like almost $500,000 in a World Series bonus or something like that. Is the reality that you can't go after the players union, and so it's just easier to just go around that and say, you know what, we're not going to punish the players because that's going to take too much effort? Is that what it comes down to?
That's part of it. It's two things. They had to give the players immunity essentially to get them to talk.
Right.
The law of the clubhouse, and what you see here, what you do here, what you say here stays here, would have prevailed, and they would have gotten nowhere in the investigation, I would think. It would have been a very different investigation, let's put it that way, if the players weren't willing to talk. And the other part of it is, they're afraid. They're not afraid of the union, but they don't need another war with the union.
Right.
They're about to go to war
They're
with
about
them
to, yeah.
on the CBA.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Players, managers, and front office guys can't appeal these discipline. Players can.
Right.
They can take it to an appeal. They can drag it out, and they could make it miserable for MLB. I mean, they really could have.
Well, this was already miserable enough for MLB, and of course, it's not done yet. While Boston fired, or however they want to say, we fired Alex Cora today, which was absolutely something they had to do, and we're going to do either way. The punishment's still coming for Alex Cora. Just a bit on. I mean, obviously, you've covered Cora as a Dodger. You know Alex as a person, and to see him, really kind of be typecast here as this maniacal mastermind behind this banging of a trash can, as it were. Just your thoughts on what's going on with Boston and Cora, and really what you think might happen once that punishment comes down.
I think anything up to permanently ineligible list is possible with him, because they are laying it in his lap pretty strongly.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's fair, but if you read the report, it was obvious that they were putting a target on his back and trying to blame him for it. I think I think it was obvious the minute the report came out that he was never going to manage another game for the Red Sox. Probably not for anybody, which is that's disappointing, because my impression of Alex was that he was a pretty stand-up guy. Loved watching him and his tourists turn double plays. They were about as smooth as anybody I've ever seen. But this crossed the line pretty thoroughly. Do I think he's the only guy out there devising systems like that? Absolutely not. Chase Utley. Chase Utley. Sure, there are a lot of players who were motivated to do those kind of things, and guys are competitive. They push it too far.
Yeah, I mean, I would. In slow pitch softball, I personally would steal the signs if I could. I'm guessing it's going to be a high arcing pitch most of the time, but still, if I can steal the signs, I would go for it for sure.
Really,
of course you would. You would change the score on the scoreboard if you could get a hold of the login. And
there you go.
These guys do everything. The one thing, fans out there, you do not understand how sophisticated everything about the game is and has become in the last few years. It is, you think you played Little League, you played high school ball. It is so far beyond that, light years beyond that, in sophistication and the explosion of video technology, which honestly, you can chase it back to 2014 when they added replay and challenges.
Yeah.
That was ground zero where this started. Because you made it a challenge system, it became part of the competitive environment. So every team tried to seek an advantage by setting up their video rooms so they could see the replays and know when to challenge and when not. And now those video rooms have been weaponized, and they've been used for these other purposes that in 2014 nobody thought of. That's the nature of competitive athletics. Everybody is always looking for an advantage.
So the next thing I have for you, and I know you're going to be leading the Marching and Chowder Society on this. How deep behind, how much are you pulling out of your own pocket to really get this class action lawsuit going?
Yeah, I heard about that. When do those? I'm a big fan of the class action lawsuit. I have received checks years later for something a mortgage
dollars?
company or a utility company did, and you get a check years later for $76.12. So
you're like, oh, great.
So I'm in favor of class action lawsuits. Go for it. Good luck. I don't think you're going to get a dime.
No.
Honestly, I mean, who are you taking that money from? How are you doing it?
That's what Gary was talking about. That money, we get the shares back, postseason shares. I personally want Bregman's share. And
everybody who attended any of the games in where? Houston or LA? Is Houston home fans ineligible because their team cheated, so it only goes to LA fans?
Yes.
And what if you got those tickets on the secondary market and didn't pay face value? Do you get more? Or if you got a freebie from somebody somehow, you don't get any money. It's complicated.
The receipts will always be in your bank account when it says how many tall boys you bought there in a World Series game.
That's true. I want those refunded.
And Brooke wants his money back.
I just want my tall boys refunded. That's it. I don't need my ticket refunded.
Yeah, that's
probably at the end of it all. After Game 2 in 2017, I probably spent more on tall boys than I did on the ticket. So
And am I eligible for this? Because I had all the games.
Yeah, sure, you were there. Why not?
Pay for a ticket.
You get Altuve's share.
My sensibilities were injured, so I deserve pain and suffering.
Yeah. So we're all suing for pain and suffering. That's all. Speaking
of pain and suffering, obviously the reputations of several players and of course manager Dave Roberts were kind of pulled through the mud. And is this something where we can look at maybe Kershaw, Kenley, Dave Roberts, even you Darvish now, which he's made some sort of magical role reversal from villain to hero again, but does this help alleviate or take some of that tarnish away from their legacies, in your opinion? Even Friedman?
I think the thoughtful fan will see it that way. So no.
Oh, so no, yeah.
It is amazing though, the butterfly effect, right?
Yeah.
So, you change one thing and all these other things come out differently. If they win that World Series, we look at Clayton Kershaw differently. Dave Roberts doesn't get the criticism every time he goes to the mound. Probably doesn't get booed when he makes pitching changes.
Kenley, Morrow probably gets re-signed immediately. Joe Girardi probably still has a job in New York.
Morrow was done. They got everything there was to get out of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It would have been a bad re-signing, but it probably wouldn't have happened.
He got $11 million. Darvish
deserves some damages because he probably would have gotten a better contract that offseason. Friedman would be, how would people criticize Friedman? They couldn't. He never won a title. That would be gone. Nobody could say that
true,
anymore. Yeah. The Dodger fans on social media would be a much happier, easier going group than they are now, instead of the bitter, entitled, needy people that seems to perpetuate on Twitter. Everything would have changed.
Can you imagine a happy Dodgers Twitter?
I can't. I think you're off on that one.
Yeah,
they
Twitter
find a
never
way.
turns happy. There'd still be people out there. They didn't win 2 in a row. It's been 2 years.
Bill, speaking of reputations, the argument resurfaced with Pete Rose, and we have our opinions on Pete Rose in house. Do you think that there's any argument that's made out of this where, if they're still in baseball, if they're still allowed to be in baseball, shouldn't Pete Rose be allowed to be a part of baseball?
No.
You don't think so?
Pete so willfully violated things and then lied for decades that you can't. I know everybody has this warm and fuzzy feel about him as a player, but as someone who interviewed him multiple times since his career ended and the suspension happened and listened to his lies, he's built his own, bed, and he's got a lie in it. He so willfully violated things that, I can make an argument that he he did not damage the game as much as the Astros did. I'll give you that.
But he was more like consciously going against the rules that were already set in place versus the Astros where there weren't exact rules in place.
And lied for decades ever since.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good point. It's a good argument for that. I think there's some back into it.
At least he signs the baseballs now. Sorry, I bet on baseball. I mean, that's good enough for me. You know, there's your rose tinted glasses, whatever. Of course, I mean, I've been drinking a little
Pete
bit.
Rose tinted glasses.
Pete Rose. Oh, I see what you did there.
Did you get one of those baseball signs?
Oh no, I can't afford that kind of crap.
Then you might be the only man in America who doesn't have memorabilia signed by Pete Rose because he is churning them out.
Come on, guys, get me back into baseball.
He's a busy boy, man. It's either that or golfing or yelling about somebody, on some sort of baseball show or pregame show or whatever. But
wasn't he great as an analyst on Fox? Was it?
Oh yeah.
Him and Frank Thomas.
Oh, that's great. That's a good combination.
And A-Rod, who everybody who knows me, A-Rod's a personal favorite of mine, and also it's opposite day. But all right, Bill. Well, we know you're busy, and we know you're packing already for spring training because you're going to be out there
got to make some tough decisions about which polos to take.
I was going to say, pack all the polos.
Yeah, we'll send him a Dodgers Nation one. So
I screwed up last year. I did not pack warm enough.
It was
Arizona
cold.
Last spring was the coldest I've ever had over there. So it puts a little mystery into this year's packing.
Yeah, I think the first day we were out there, we were there in the morning, and we had shorts on, and we were both looking at each other like, it's freezing.
Well, I mean, I'm always going to wear shorts. You know this.
Well, that's true.
This is my brand, Brooke.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry.
You guys can find Bill at Bill Plunkett OCR on the Twitter. He's smart enough. I don't think you're on Instagram, which is an intelligent move.
No, not messing with that. No,
but
don't need to.
I'll
be on Sportsnet LA again Thursday.
Oh.
Wow,
so look to see.
Just coming here to hawk your brand down.
I'm everywhere. I'm a multimedia. I won't say the word.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you're sort of in a good spot there because you won't get saddled with Jay hair next to you to take away the shine of the Bill Plunkett legacy.
It's me and Ned Coletti on Thursday.
Ned's back.
It's the eye candy episode.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
It's the hockey special.
Yeah, we're gonna talk hockey.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Bill. Thanks a bunch, man, and try to get some rest. All right.
Yeah, you got it, guys. Anytime.
Take it easy. So let's dive back into whatever else the fan base has said. And I know we've all been sitting here. I know you guys have been sitting here, and of course, thanks to Bill Plunkett, Orange County Register. We love that guy. He's I mean, that dude can fall out of bed and make you laugh while talking baseball. So I'd
probably laugh if I saw somebody fall out of bed, to be honest with you. So it's not that impressive.
I was reading something. You say you want to fall out of bed with me?
Yeah.
This is getting real weird. But what we're going to do with a lot of these comments now, and this will be news to Brooke because I didn't get a chance to mention it before, but what we're going to do is after we finish these shows, we're pretty much going to record a second show just based on the comments. And you guys are going to get 2 episodes in your podcast subscriber box each week. So I think those are going to come out on Fridays, and that'll be, just another fun way to interact, but not immediately with y'all. But I think it'll be, hopefully it'll be fun, a fun way just to keep the conversation going and make sure we don't leave any of these brilliant comments or less than reputable comments.
Michelle Carter says, I want to find Brooke. And I don't know what that means, but I don't know if I should be worried.
It's Brooke with an E, so
so it's not me.
Cool.
It's okay. We're good.
So now let's kind of double back. Let's almost, I don't know, not really redo everything here, but I want your guys' direct opinions. We've talked around it, but Gary, let's start with you. Do you think MLB threw the book at Houston, or did they?
They threw a page.
What else, though? What else could they honestly
I'm telling you,
do?
the long-term marketing efforts for the Astros is the only way to hurt them. They made $66 billion off that World Series, according to LA Times. I think it was something like that. But then, decrease the amount of merchandising, the amount of products they can give out.
The thing you don't want to do, though, is cripple a team to the point where people don't want to go play there. So if you're looking at Tampa Bay, who is a really good team that has no fan base, baseball's already kind of dying out in that sense, and the market for it. If there is a market for it, you have to capitalize on it. So if you're punishing a team long term, there's not the new players that come in are going to get punished for it. So they're going to be less motivated to come to Houston.
Well, the reason they came to Houston, or the reason free agents are wanting to sign to Houston, or whatever it is, people want to buy, is because of that World Series. Right. So then we have to look back and say, what would that franchise have done without a World Series? What kind of economic impact on their P&Ls would have happened without a World Series? And then you know who you can look at? Look at the Dodgers P&L. You know, and that's really a nice P&L to look at. Like the negative effect of not winning a World Series. What happened? You know, and I think that's just the fairest way to do it. $5 million is seriously a joke in MLB. You know,
Right. I think realistically that fine should have probably just not been. That shouldn't have existed. I think they should have hit it more in their draft picks. I think they should have hit it more in.
The $5 million isn't. Oh, we're fining you $5 million. The narrative for that is we're fining you the maximum amount possible.
Right.
That sounds a lot better.
Just so you know,
than knowing
we're fining
$5 million
as much as we can.
Exactly. Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's only $5 million, which in terms of ownership, in terms of the team, nothing. Chump change.
See,
Pocket
amongst
change.
owners, all billionaires.
Where to me it's tough for the players. I mean, obviously this system was built up over time, but more importantly, the quality of that organization was. They put a lot of work into bringing that from the ash of nothing to the rising phoenix of eventually cheating their way to a World Series. But they put in the work. It's not like, Altuve was like, oh boy, I can't wait to go sign for big league baseball and tall league baseball, and
there you go.
And all of a sudden to start cheating, or even Springer or whatever. But it's tough for the organization, but also they did it, and I'm not at all like saying I side with them, because I hate them all and I hope they all burn in hell. If I was able to find the jersey that we have of your Houston jersey that the in-laws gave you, I was going to burn it
on your wedding day. Remember that?
On this the day
Nobody
of my daughter's
knows that.
wedding.
This is the day of my own wedding.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I get to hold that against them for a very long time.
Forever.
I'm so happy about
Didn't
it.
they give you a ring too?
Yep.
I have a
Where is
a
that?
2017 replica Astros ring in my drawer at home. I
dirty.
should bring it and put it on the trash can. It's a good spot for it.
Dirty.
This is a trash can, by the way, if you can tell.
Podcast side loves
Get it? Podcast side.
But the other side of this that's been fun. Let's kind of take the time here, everybody, and we'll get to a few of the comments as well, as Audio Outlaw enjoys our ASMR. Dodgers Nation, subscribe. The winners, losers, and like kind of the reactions from an interesting Monday in baseball. AC Slater came out on Twitter and he was angry. Mario Lopez, if you guys are younger folks, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was angry and he looked very shiny. So that's cool.
Was I one of the winners?
I think you won.
I threatened several Astros. Not threatened. I challenged.
Oh yeah, there was a fight going on.
I said,
I mean, there's
"Please
always a
fight
fight.
me."
Yeah.
There's always a fight. It's Twitter.
Justin Verlander's been ducking me. He has not responded to my requests for fisticuffs.
Coward.
Yeah. So if you're out there, Justin, I challenge you to a duel with fists. I don't know what they call that. Fights. They just call it fight.
Fist cuffs.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
fist.
I also said Josh Reddick to catch the smoke, because Josh Reddick talked so much crap on LA when he won the World Series, and I hate him so much. Josh Reddick. I mean, Barry Bonds is like up on my list of people I hate.
He's a straight up loser, and that's the thing. There's a lot of losers that are coming out after the fact.
Justin Verlander and Josh Reddick, those are my two. Those two people. Oh
Straight
boy.
up lying.
I don't want to fight H. He's old.
At the beginning of this investigation, I guess you don't want to fight Carlos Beltran either, but Beltran was like, "No, we did it all the right way," and now he's like, "No, I'll investigate. I mean, I'll cooperate with this. Yeah, we did it. We're all bad. We're all bad people. If that dude ends up managing with the Mets, it'll be, well, I mean, I guess what's his name, Brody Van Wagenen. He's an agent. He'll find a way to kind of smooth over it and whatever. But
We got some audio issues.
apparently, they're saying there's some buzzing. Yikes! I don't know. Do you have anything
Sounds
on over
is
there?
on one side.
I didn't do anything.
Don't move.
I hear the buzzing.
Well, how about Trevor Effin Bauer killing the game? I don't hear any buzzing, but talk amongst yourselves about Bauer.
Oh yeah. Do you see what he said on Twitter? Like all those things he was putting out. He was basically just roasting players like one after another, pulling up old clips, all these old tweets that he had, exchanges with like Lance
The
McCullers.
spin rate stuff, right? He was calling that out.
Like he pulled up some stuff of like Lance McCullers, of like him going back and forth with him, and then basically him saying like McCullers.
Oh, now I don't have headphones.
I know.
Oh.
You don't exist.
don't
Basically,
exist.
like Lance McCullers arguing with him, and then like he left it alone.
McCullers
and then now
is
he's
the one that
pulled-
tore his arm, right?
He tore his arm. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
That's what they call it.
Yeah. Bauer, like, he kind of vilified himself over the past, I don't know, 2 years-ish on Twitter. And
Pretty bad.
He's kind of found a home now
Pretty
in
bad.
this like spot where people are like, man, I think I like Trevor Bauer again.
He's still a
he's
bad
really
person.
he's not a good person.
He's
by
not
any
a good
means.
person,
But
so it's just like
this particular instance is really making me like him for the month of January. February, he might be a different guy.
yeah.
Probably will be, to be honest with you. But I'm enjoying it.
I think Alex Wood made. Did Alex Wood tweet something last night?
No, he didn't get anything really on that. He did respond, or he did have thoughts on it. We were all able to get
David
thoughts.
Freese
had something
had
because
something about
no active player is able to speak on it. That's the thing. So it's all retired players, and it's all, people along that lineage. I don't understand why we're having the audio issues. I don't.
Audio's good now. That's what Angelica
Okay.
A. Smith says.
Thanks, guys.
And Dead Zed said it.
Yeah.
Good job, Clint.
Dead Zed.
We got people. I'm a professional here. Look at that. I'm able to just carry on and do my
You
thing.
blew on the cartridge.
I did blow on the cartridge, but
Yes.
so yeah, let's kind of dig in a little bit more to Kershaw, Roberts, Darvish. There was a Twitter user who added us on our Blue Heaven Pod Twitter account who wanted us to personally apologize to them on his behalf. So that's John Paul, not Sean Paul, but John Paul wanted us to apologize to Kershaw and all that.
Someone brought it up on Twitter yesterday. You know how Houston's been accused of doctoring the balls to increase spin rate?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, no, they're not cheating. But now they've cheated. So is it time to really take a look into that? Because now the Yankees will be like, we just signed a big guy.
That becomes a lot more, though, because you can't say that most clubs aren't doing something with.
I would say
sticking.
100% of clubs are doing something with substances. 100% of clubs are.
Yeah. And not the good old days.
Maybe not all of it is illegal. Maybe not all of it is defined.
Yeah, not like the good old days when it was meth. No, it's different kind of substances.
Different substances.
Yeah.
Now it's like apparently you boil a Coke can or something like that, and mix it with pine
That
tar and
just
rosin.
sounds- that
I don't know.
sounds
That's
like
what Trevor
meth.
Bauer said. He's
Yeah.
like, and it
Yeah,
becomes
Bauer,
clear,
again.
and you can't detect it. That's what Bauer said.
Everything.
Bauer knows. I mean, he's been around.
I mean, the
he's
best
pitched
is
for a
when
while.
Kershiser talks about how he doctored the ball back in the day.
He's very honest.
Yeah,
about
he's
it.
straight up about it. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
but
back in
that's
the
what we
day,
used to do.
They scraped up the ball. Now they want more sticky and whatever. And players are kind of okay with it. I mean, don't you want someone to have more control of their fastball instead of taking one in the ribs?
Yogi Berra used to have the sharpened shin guards where he would just basically rub the ball on it before he threw it back.
It should be the catcher who does it more, TBH, but that's just
How are you going to catch the catcher?
I just hide it in your shoes. Like, you
It's in
just
his
touch your shoe and just rub the ball a little
There's
bit.
a lot more. There's a lot more cameras
all right,
now. I think
anyways.
that's the question.
All in Houston.
We're trying to figure out how
Kershaw,
to cheat.
I'm mad at Kershaw for 2019 postseason. I'm not mad at Kershaw for 2017 postseason. It always seemed kind of fishy that he was. I mean, he wasn't at his utmost finest in 2017. He was still an exceptional pitcher then, and for him to just give up a 3 and a 4 run lead like nobody's business. Obviously something was pretty bad. And then you look at the stats. I should have had it ready to plug into the stream here, but you got the home road splits that I posted on my Twitter. Again, that's at RealFRG. The Astros at home in the postseason were 8-1, but the biggest ones were there was an almost 70-point difference in their batting average, and what is that, 150? A lot in slugging. I do quick math. Are you math?
I don't math, but they had twice as many home runs.
Yeah,
and fewer games.
Double the
or
home
same
runs.
amount of games.
Same amount of games, yeah, but still, like they did almost double their runs per game. It is absurd how bad the splits are.
Right.
And that's where you look at it's Jeff Crane, not Jim Crane, Jimmy came out and was like, no, our World Series isn't tainted. The F not, it ain't tainted. Look at these numbers, Broseph. You like I mean, obviously, if I knew my team was cheating, he knew something, and at that point, you're trying to just get the ship out of the way. They did get caught; they're getting bit in the ass. But you want to try that one again, dude. You got straight the hell up caught, and it's all tainted. And if eventually Wikipedia and Baseball Ref doesn't have an asterisk in there, that's legit and sanctioned and allowed by those places. If we pay our $3 to Wikipedia or however that goes. Yeah, it'll be still sad for baseball. I mean, we all know in our hearts, but eventually that goes away that, hey, this is the team that cheated. that we all die. Brooks dying.
I am dying right now, actually.
Anyways, but I kind of feel, we've retweeted some. We've seen a lot of people talking about the other side of it. What's the worst part about this, I feel, is the fans. We talk so much about the players.
Crazy last night. Yeah.
We talk about Ethier. We've mentioned Ethier how many times. Ethier was robbed of his title. Chase Utley was robbed of his Dodger championship or whatever.
Title, yeah.
But the people that were robbed of celebrating with family. In some cases, a family that isn't here anymore. Loved ones, friends, whatever it may be. You were him robbed of purely robbed of purely enjoying his tall cans at a very premium rate.
I still enjoyed them.
Yeah, but imagine how much more betters they would have been
with a victory, sweet victory.
Victory cans.
I have never tasted victory.
So it's just like how the players. That's what I really want to see is how will the players eventually manage this and I don't know. They're not going to say they're obviously the players themselves, the Houston Astros players from that team outside of Mike Fiers, who doesn't clearly just DGAF. But what are they going to say? How are they going to eventually face other fan bases and be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I did get your manager fired, or I did ruin this kid's career, or ruin the fun.
First step is handing like tomorrow or whatever FedEx or UPS better deliver a nice American League MVP trophy on the footsteps on Park Avenue in front of MLB's office. And that is like a good first step in like, you know what?
Giving back the awards.
Giving back the rewards and just showing that they feel some level of remorse for what they were a part of.
You're talking about the Astros players.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much that
of the many MVPs they all got.
There's no winners here. I mean, the Houston fans, they can say all day that, it's all good, but in their heart they know, and they're going to go to sleep knowing that they're losers. And then right now you got the Dodger fans. Everybody got cheated out of experience. They got, last night, there was a guy who talked about his buddy who died of prostate cancer that, even on his tombstone said, "Go Dodgers."
Yeah.
And then the grandma who didn't get to watch, didn't get to cheer. There's other families whose baby was born on the day of Game 7. Mm-hmm. I mean, the stories that you got to read on Twitter yesterday were crazy, and I think that's the part where, it was me at 5:30 last night, just starting to tweet, and then I just started getting riled up because I started seeing more stories. Man, it just really got me going just because of that, more so than like the Dodgers getting cheated, but it was just the fans.
Our friend Marshall says here, I don't think the de facto asterisk will be forgotten. Of course, right now it's all just the court of a public opinion on this thing. It's nothing official that anything's vacated or whatever. It's really this is how we all feel about it. But he brings up a good point. Marshall says people still talk about the Black Sox a century later and Pete Rose 30 years later, which we just talked about earlier with our good friend Bill Plunkett. So, yeah, there's a lot of that. But now with Cora, I saw you had tweeted about it earlier, and this will kind of be the last bit on this. And if you guys want to hear more, we will get to your comments later, and you'll have to subscribe to Blue Heaven on iTunes to hear more of our answers on this, and we'll have a little bit more fun with that in a bit. But the Cora side and the Boston side, and I will say that personally, I don't think the Dodgers were robbed 2 World Series in a row. No. I don't think they've come out with anything saying that Boston was cheating in the 2018 World Series. They were, I can't say clearly the better team. They were hungrier. They wanted it more. And the Dodgers, by all intents and purposes, should not have been there. They weren't that exceptional of a team. But what do the Red Sox now do? They had already fired their president in Ben Cherington, and he already signed with another club, so he's probably going to get banned potentially. Cora, I 100% agree with Bill Plunkett. Cora is never going to do anything professionally in baseball again. I would be surprised at any club hiring him because of just how much Manfred and MLB lumped his name into this thing. But will Boston look now to honestly blow it up a little bit more? Will his name Chaim Bloom trade Mookie Betts sooner rather than later? His name? I think so.
I've always wondered.
27.
What 27 million
for next year?
Yeah,
next year he's getting 27
million.
Then he's a free agent.
That he's a free agent. Yeah, I mean that was
David Price.
the general consensus was like,
Rent
hey,
to MVP.
if Cora is dismissed even before he was, it was like,
use this
do you think they blow it up because now you're 25 days from spring training or something like that, whatever it is for the Red Sox specifically. I think it's like 25 days. 25 days from spring training, you don't have a manager. Realistically, you're probably not hiring a manager. You're probably defaulting to a bench coach or somebody that's already on the staff because they're already familiar. It's just there's not enough time to get started with a team. They're probably not hiring another manager. With that being said, not necessarily that they're conceding the 2020 season, but they kind of are conceding the 2020 season.
Yeah.
Kind of. You got the Yankees that are already blocking your path, and the Yankees are a freaking juggernaut. They're probably going to win the AL. Probably by a landslide. You might have the Twins that figure out some games in the meantime. But, I mean, if I'm the Red Sox, like, geez, man, you were already looking to cut payroll. You were already looking to get below the luxury tax. You were already thinking long-term, not next year.
It's a perfect excuse.
And now your manager, your World Series manager, caught in a cheating scandal, disgraced, fired. It makes sense. It's like, hey, we got to start cutting bait. We got to start trading away guys that we can get value out of. We got to start losing these big contracts. We got to start thinking future. We got to start thinking 5 years down the line, not 1 year down the line. So if I'm the Red Sox, that's what I'm doing personally. Not necessarily that I'm trading them to the Dodgers just because I'm a Dodger fan. But if I were the Red Sox, I would start looking at trading away some of those guys, offloading those big contracts, restockpiling your farm system, because the Red Sox do have one of the 2 worst farm systems in all of baseball.
Well, they're going to lose
despite
more
people's
draft picks,
argument.
right?
The Red Sox,
Yeah, they have to. I
They-
mean, it's
they-
cheating.
I don't
It's
know.
not as bad. I mean, honestly, this thing
No.
is
See,
following
this is the
Cora
problem.
more.
This is the problem with that $5 million punishment. What you're saying is that's the max is $5 million.
Yeah.
That's the maximum punishment. That's what you're saying. If they were saying, oh, we would have punished him more if we could, then you're basically saying that Boston needs to be punished at that max level as well, because cheating's cheating. That cannot be allowed.
Yeah, but even the commissioner had said himself that it wasn't the same.
Yeah, it wasn't
He-
as
not that he didn't-
egregious.
not-
It wasn't as long, and it
Right.
wasn't in the postseason.
That's the thing. So it's a
Help
little
them get
different.
into postseason.
It's a little different in
helped
that it's
them-
less defined.
It helped them win 108 games. Actually, funny enough, the Dodger dude got me thinking, got my brain thinking about this, because he said they can't claim any of the MVPs or Silver Sluggers or any of that. Did Mookie Betts win that MVP in 2018 because of some shady-ish?
Here, let me ask you a theoretical question. If the
We don't do
max
that.
penalty monetary punishment was $50 million, and let's just say that the Astros got punished and had to pay a $50 million fine. Let's just say that, right? How much should Boston pay?
If
If
Houston
just for
was
the
paying
same
50,
yeah, if
and that was their only,
Mhm.
it was just like, hey, you pay 50.
50
and
is,
and
I would say
Red
50
Sox
is a
pay
pretty
this.
significant amount.
Red Sox probably paying like $10 million.
$10 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying 20% they did 20% cheating level.
I would say so, because the way they utilized the system was much more legal in the sense of it was just a misuse of the replay room of itself. The Astros went outside of the replay room to putting cameras in the stands
Right.
to illegally transmitting to monitors.
To
That's way
bang
beyond going in the
trash can.
replay room, stealing signs from, trying to decipher signs from catchers, and then having it relayed to a runner who relays it to a batter. It's a much less efficient system. The Astros is the best way to describe it, I had a Twitter user say it to me, it was like the Astros were, if you were in terms of taking a test, it's like having a cheat note card versus having somebody whispering the answer directly into your ear. The Astros are that. They're telling you what's coming. They tell you the pitch. It's right there. You know what's coming every time. Maybe you don't know where it's being thrown, but you know what's coming. And if you're a hitter and you know what's coming, I can tell you, I sucked at baseball, but if I knew what every pitch, every time, every pitch was coming, I might have done better in baseball. I might have played. I might have played college ball.
You saw the takes, the video
Yeah.
of the takes.
Absolutely.
There are some pretty nasty pitches that Bregman's not even offering at.
Or,
They made it.
or when Gurriel took Kershaw deep,
Yeah.
you can tell he's sitting on a curveball on a 3-2 count inside. That's not something that he throws often. And he had just done a pretty nasty sequence of pitches where he laid off of him, and it was like, all right, at the time would not have second guessed it, just like Kershaw.
Yeah.
Kershaw slowing down. He's getting old. He
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah.
It's
Like
playoff
the one-offs or whatever. But the amount of video you see of them just sitting there and that cockiness that Bregman had, it's like, yeah, I'd be hella cocky if I knew it was. It's like an MVP or in the show or whatever. Any of these games. Sorry, I'm OG. I play MVP back in the day, but still, these baseball games where you get to guess the pitch and it's like clink. If you get that clink,
You're crushing it.
you're crushing it. You're
crushing
swinging with box. Some people call it square. I call it box. And also, I don't play Xbox. That's trash. We're talking about square on PlayStation. But yeah, there's a lot, and there are much smarter people that have deciphered this and gone through all of this. But you know what? We're drinking and we're angry about it, and we're actually going to talk about the Dodger fan side of it and the Dodgers side of it. So if you guys want to hear more of us going through your comments and everything, listen to that second episode of the podcast. We're not done yet here. We still got more to get through, but subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. We're on Spotify. All the spots you can digest your podcast streams. There's going to be a second one, and we're not lying this time. We have a plan in motion where it's easy to put out a second show a week, and we don't have to This is a lot of effort, guys.
This is all news to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
We're just going through the comments again and just reading it.
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Me and you fans, we're both hearing about it, and we will be there.
I meant to tell you, but then what happened?
What happened was I had to break up with the beer.
You have to build the desk.
I had to build
Oh,
the
yeah.
desk.
Amazing
I had to
desk.
put the fifth leg under the new desk. Another thing, giveaway reminder, guys. You have one more week to enter. There's a button for that, by the way, Gary.
There's Tommy.
To enter for this retro style. It's what we call a retro style Dodgers jacket. Yeah, it's almost close-ish to the way Mr. Thomas Charles Lasorda wore that jacket to multiple World Series titles.
I really want to
So for
win it.
details, go to DodgersNation.com/giveaways. You cannot win it, but everybody else can.
My
Brooke
burner
cannot.
accounts can.
You have until 12 p.m. Pacific time on January 21st to enter, and the next episode that comes that day, which is next Tuesday, we will announce the winner, and then
Are you
do the
saying
things we
it's
say.
12 p.m. Pacifico time?
Pacifico time. Oh, it's been a while without that. In other news, let's get into actual stuff that means something for next season, something that will affect the Dodgers' chance at an actual World Series title run. Alex Wood is back. They made a signing, and I don't know. Pick one.
Well, wait.
And that's all the time we have. Woody returns on a 1-year, $4 million deal with escalators that can get it up to $10 million, and I just feel that it's weird that, people were very excited, it felt like. For the greater part, I saw excitement on social media that Woody was coming back. And what do you got?
Fans are starting a Brooke Tallboy GoFundMe, so appreciate that, guys.
Is that Scoots? We're all proud of you,
man.
Scoots. It's Scott over there. Nice kid. Friend of the show. So are we all so desperate for moves that after losing Hill and Ryu, we're all of a sudden happy to get Alex Wood back? Like, this is this. Oh, I guess you did
It's
do it.
nostalgic.
Wait, where's the? Here it
Yeah.
is.
It's nostalgic.
Yeah, but
You love your guys. You get the band back together.
Some
You got
point
a
you gotta
year of
break up
Kemp,
with
you got a
somebody.
year of Russell Martin, which is like a super throwback, and then all of a sudden you get
hey, we
Alex
could have
Wood
gotten
back.
James Loney, but no, he had to go and get a job elsewhere, and he's old.
Hey, in that movie, they said like if everybody's so thirsty that they're drinking the sand and loving it.
I know he's talking about old people shit over
Oh,
there. I don't
yeah.
know, but other things that also happened today. Josh Donaldson signed with Minnesota, so that move that was never going to happen for the Dodgers is definitely not going to happen. But at least he gets to go play with Richie Hill, so that's cool for him.
Oh man, those are going to be two great personalities for that clubflhouse. Oh my god, I
Rich
just
Hill
thought of
walking
that.
in, and Donaldson's
Josh
back.
also like,
Stop doing that.
You son of a! Just throwing chairs.
This
at
is a
lockers.
fun-free zone.
We're going after a championship, brother. He turned into Hulk Hogan.
Just questions. Did you guys hear anything about Josh Donaldson considering Minnesota? Did you hear anything
they
about
were-
that?
No.
there was-
No, right?
It was
Nothing.
he will go to Minnesota if he can't get
If
a
he
better
can't
deal
get a better
elsewhere.
deal,
That's what it
yeah.
was. It's like nobody wants to go to Minnesota. That's where dreams go to die.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Not
And
mosquitoes.
for some reason, an outdoor stadium.
yeah.
They really did mess up. And they don't have Joe
What
Mauer
are you
anymore.
doing with an outdoor stadium?
I guess it's
They're like,
sunny
we're not
during
playing in
summer.
October.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. What do you feel? How do you feel like about
Sick.
what? about what Woody means for the rotation. How do you guys feel about Alex Wood coming back?
We got a lot of young guys. We got a lot of young arms that are not going to get as many innings as we like them to get because the Dodgers tend to do that with their younger guys. See Julio Urias early in his career.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to pitch as much as we'd like them to. So while you think Tony Gonsolin and Dustin May are going to be in the rotation all year long, they are not going to be in the rotation all year long. They might even be bullpen guys for the majority of the year. So with that in mind, you need some starters. We lost Ryu. We have Stripling.
I feel bad for Strip and all this, man.
Didn't we sign Alex Wood so Clayton Kershaw has a friend in the dugout?
He needed a buddy.
He's still got Sam.
He's got Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barnsley's
all
there.
his buddies.
He might not be for long.
Yeah. All his buddies are gone.
No, it's just you're just thinking of Ellis, and that's been
Over
a while.
No, Rich Hill too.
Over
Rich
under
Hill's
on
gone.
Austin Barnes making it past July.
I don't know. Like we're Kershaw and Hill, that buddy. I mean, I feel like
I don't
they
look
just
like it.
kinda
They
hung
always
out
sat next to
together.
each
I
other.
don't really think they were in the sense of like they have a history or anything like that. I think it's like you pitch, you're a lefty, you're old.
I don't think Kershaw likes anybody. To be honest, like
Really?
really likes anybody.
I
I think he
don't-
was
I don't know.
too
Just
hurt
the way
by
Rich
AJ
Hill
Ellis.
cried on the last.
So
that last
my
game.
understanding of Kershaw, my understanding of it is he's so competitive that he's just focused on the game. Really, he's not really there to make friends, and that's what it seems
he
like,
really
and that's
isn't
okay.
that competitive.
That's fine.
You know how I know? I saw him at that charity thing.
Oh, where he's
And when
getting
he got
pelted by
he
kids?
got pelted by kids with snowballs, and he didn't throw one at anybody.
And
I was like, "Yo, man, you're Clayton Kershaw. You gotta chuck one upside one of the kids' heads."
89 mile an hour snowball.
Ruben says that Alex Wood rebounds and wins 13 games. We got Ryan Moore saying home run serving Wood. Our boy Zed James says solid pickup. Kowski missed us. We missed you too, Kowski. Also,
Alex Wood is low risk. That's all I'll say. There's
Yeah,
there's
I
no
mean,
risk
I'm not-
associated with
it's
him.
a depth move. It's 100% a depth move, and like you're saying, we can't expect an abundance of innings from the rookie arms. You really need to set up Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin, and to a slightly lesser extent Julio Urias to pick up more innings later in the season.
Yeah.
Than at the start of the season, and there's
We-
gonna be a
we need
lot
the
of angry
flexibility.
people. The same way Gonsolin didn't make the postseason roster last season, there's going to be a lot of angry people come opening day when one or both of May and Gonsolin aren't on the opening day roster.
And
that's just
Jimmy
the way-
Nelson is.
And that's just the way baseball goes. Yeah, Jimmy Nelson's going to get his extra $1 million. But that's the way baseball goes. But if you want to know more about it, about the Dodgers rotational depth, our boy Tim Rogers put out a piece at our DodgersNation.com. Just really outlooking at beyond those names. There's also names like Mitchell White. There's names like the ever popular Josiah Gray. There's an absurd amount of depth, and there are actually 9 major league options at at starting pitching depth. But still,
enough.
I mean,
We can get by.
with where we're at in the off season, I don't mind the move, but it's definitely not Garrett Cole, and it's not even Hyunjin Ryu. It's tough, but I did bring Alex Wood back out of his box, so at least the bobblehead is on the shelf and off camera.
Oh,
Go
and
ahead
the
and grab
Christmas
it.
tree.
You
Yeah,
bring him
that's just
down.
out of the way.
Bring him
Bring
down.
Woody down. Put him in the
Christmas
middle of
tree,
the.
too.
Put him here next to the trash can, since he's the only guy who was able to beat Houston in Houston.
Welcome back, Woody.
We're proud of you, Alex. But I mean, they're Nelson and Wood are hardly the needle movers, but I don't know. Just
Trending.
did you say trending? Trending? Oh,
Trending.
Oh,
it's like what? We're trending. It's like what?
We're trending.
Yeah, that's
too,
cool.
J Roach _909 says bring back Brandon League.
Now we're talking.
Andy says Ronald Belisario for the bullpen. Oh yeah, I love that, man. That's it. Hey, can you not please? We're trying to do a show.
Don't
here.
get sick, guys.
India DeVoe says I think Hill is a punk rocker. I can
What?
see him rocking out to like Social D or something, like not real punk rock, like pretend punk rock, like Social D.
I'm gonna sneeze again.
Adolescence, maybe that's sort of
Wow.
fringy. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, you know when you have to sneeze and you start thinking about it.
Austin Perello says, I would love a Puig reunion. I think we have something coming out on that pretty soon.
Puig
Pros
union?
and cons of a Puig union. No, Puig's just kind of that day is done, I guess we'll say.
I don't know. We need a right-handed outfield bat.
It's true.
And people love Puig.
Logan Jones says, I think 2 more Brooks will cure your sickness, Brooke. What do you think?
2 more Brooks.
2 more beers. Sorry.
Oh.
King Arthur says, bless you. That's it. I
Thanks,
think
King Arthur.
we're about done for you guys got anything else you want to dole into?
Uh,
Dole whip?
FanFest is on the 25th. So
Somebody asked if we're going. Yes, we will be there.
Yep.
I think all of us. We're gonna
Are
celebrate.
we though? Because like the Fan Fest looks pretty whack this year.
Hey,
to be
we
honest
get to
with you.
party
It's in
in
the
a parking
parking
lot.
lot.
Hell yeah.
I know.
It's in the parking lot. The autograph sessions are garbage. Not that I would ever buy those, but the autograph
What is it,
sessions
like-
are bad.
Didn't
What
they
are
get
they?
it
I didn't
out?
It's
see
like
them all.
Kyle Garlic.
I think
He's
They're
cool.
not. They're not good.
Didn't-
They're not good autograph sessions.
Didn't Gail
like if you're
say-
paying
Oh, really?
$35, you're like, I want at least a Kike at least.
Gail said you get to hold Cody Bellinger's equipment.
Yeah, the $250
Yeah,
to
they'll
hold
grab his
Cody
equipment.
Bellinger's
Oh, can I
equipment.
take a picture with the 1988 World Series trophy?
You cannot.
I can't even do that.
No.
We could just
You can just go stand near it.
Oh, okay.
no, we could just call Mark for that.
I think they're really struggling with the construction and the
Yeah.
Fan Fest at the same time this
Yeah.
year. It's
Yeah.
it just doesn't.
It was-
not
yeah, it
look
was gonna
as
happen.
nearly as good.
so.
I'm disappointed. I'm
So
already
you're
disappointed.
gonna have to deal with
They don't have
porta
like
potties and the 76 gas station.
they don't have near yeah they don't
Yeah.
oh yeah they don't have nearly as
Don't
many
pee there.
experiences as last year.
Yeah.
It's just different.
The yard sale is going to be there. We don't know if it's going to be a 3-hour line like I suffered through last year.
We'll
But
get you a hat.
Were you
Oh.
Jersey?
Oh
When
yeah,
that-
they'll
when
be
that-
cheap.
I mean, can't you go everywhere and get them cheap right now because they're all
No,
like,
we want to stand in a long line.
Well,
That's gonna be fun. Hey, didn't we buy a lot of bobbleheads last year?
I did.
You did, right?
I got a lot of bobbleheads, and I waited in line so long that one bobblehead went from $45 to $5, and all the other ones were like $1. It was
right.
legit.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, this is not Domino's. This is legit. Thank you. I've been a little
This is when
dicky.
we met up with AJ Pollock last year, right? At FanFest. Right, Brooke?
Oh yeah,
That was
When
the
he
sign.
wa-
You-
yeah. That's,
You hung
that
out
was
with Kenta?
And
me and Kenta talking like old buds.
hey, our boy Eric. Eric is hanging out. Producer Eric, senior Dodgers
What?
senior producer
Isn't
Eric
he on-
is here in
isn't
the
he,
stream.
Is he
He's out.
Curacao?
He's Curacao.
Curacao.
Oh, sorry.
He's hanging out. He's living
Curacao.
that Kenley lifestyle in Curacao.
Curacao.
Curacao, yeah.
I did guilt
I
him
was literally
into
reading
coming
the
on the
sign
show
right
though.
now.
He's gonna next time we get him in. I think he's gonna be promoting something fun and exciting. So
Oh, he said, "Hello, my beautiful people of Dodgers Nation." It's like we're in his Instagram post.
oh my gosh,
We made it, Sue baby. We made it.
never heard of her.
He
No,
s- he said,
Alex
"Wow,
Perez,
the set
we
has
made it.
changed."
Yeah, Eric,
Yeah.
We're still working on it right now. We're
Yeah.
getting ready for season 3.
It's gonna be different.
Yeah.
We'll have it nice and pretty.
We should have a new desk every season.
Are there any desk makers out there?
Is that,
Free
is that
promotion
a
right
job?
Yeah.
I think that's just
Yes.
called a carpenter.
Yeah. No, just specifically. on
Desk
desks.
maker.
Well,
Are we done?
yeah. Demarcus 008 says Robitussin, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get some Robitussin. We're gonna get like really loopy. and then we're gonna
Edelberry.
record
I got a lot of
second
NyQuil at
podcast.
home waiting.
J Tonic.
I'm gonna eat some meatloaf and drink some NyQuil. and
Are you
call
supposed
it
to
a
like
day.
You'll
sprinkle
do
cayenne pepper
anything
on
for-
lemons and just
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
I like
And
how
jalapeno
the
juice.
entire stream Gary took the comment section away from the live stream.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, so nobody can see it? That's okay. I can see
It's
it.
Clint's fault.
So
he
are
gave
you?
me a camera.
I mean, you're not going to be on camera. Are you? So does that mean you're still going to like do the questions with us? Are you going to impart your? Oh wow.
Oh, you want me to?
I mean,
I don't care.
you're
Oh,
here.
somebody did ask what are our thoughts about the amount of bobbleheads this year because I saw the Angels are only doing like 4. Don't we have 20?
I think so. Yeah, it's like something like.
My
20.
thoughts are the Dodgers have the best giveaways.
Attendance.
Dude, look at
attendance,
some of
but
these.
also the best giveaways in baseball because they're not littered with sponsors all over
Oh, yeah.
them like everybody else. Everybody else is like brought to you by Tampax and it's all over it. And you're like, this is great. But
No, these
the
are solid.
idea is
The
the Dodgers
Verdugo
are
one.
not that cheap in the sense of where they can give you an actual bobblehead that just says the player's name.
where
And
the
And
actually-
well, I
23
mean, plus they
Michelada
didn't.
goes.
that's why the
you
Micheladas
mean
are $22.
Actually, behind you, get the, what's it
Analytics
called?
show that people who drink micheladas like bobbleheads.
The Bueller one. That's how Angel one. It's
Michelle
in the
Carter
box.
is going?
The Bueller one is in the box next to One Rebay.
oh,
next- yeah,
Scott
yeah.
Dillback.
Oh, yeah. This
yeah,
is a good
yeah.
one.
That would be a good example of it. Just saying,
Dude,
if,
that's
like, literally
Rancho.
Yeah, I know, but
This is Rancho, yeah.
Rancho is basically like Angel Stadium.
Walker Buehler's day off.
Yeah,
It is,
They're
yeah.
not good.
That arguably
Same amount of
is
white
the
people.
top 5 giveaway in the last 3 years.
Sorry, we're all talking over each other. At this
sorry.
point, guys. Oh my God, Hamilton! Are you allowed to watch Facebook?
Hamilton? Is that the Hamilton?
My friend Hamilton says they should.
My
rock,
friend Hamilton.
They should rock paper scissors for a championship.
That's a good deal.
Oh, you kill me, brother. Anyways,
Is Hamilton the one with the kids?
no, just one.
One kid and a
Yeah.
disappearing act.
Ooh.
Get wrecked, Hamilton. You're gonna have some text
He's like-
messages, methinks.
Zed says the Rancho one was good. No, the Rancho bobblehead sucked because it had no legs. Bueller literally has no legs. There's just a steering wheel. Anyways, Leo Rosa says, do they sell bobbleheads at FanFest? Yes, they do.
They do indeed. By the bushel.
Jody says, what did you mean by Chase Utley?
What did Bill mean by Chase Utley?
Yeah.
Chase Utley is a notorious sign stealer, but allegedly
And leg breaker.
legally. Sign stealing is not illegal, guys.
And father.
All right, this is
He's
going on
also
too
a
long.
father.
Sorry.
So we apologize for running on. I mean, this was like a really good show, and then it kind of tapered off at the end. But that's what happens, you know. We obviously wanted to do the thing, and anyways, but subscribe to Blue Heaven on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Player FM, all the places you can find podcasts. Chances are you can find us there, for sure.
Chances are you can find us. There's a Chris H. hopped in with a Brock Stewart bobblehead.
Too soon.
I have another one.
Is there going to be
Hamilton.
a Brock Stewart
Too soon.
bobblehead?
Anyways, that guy is Brook Me 3.
I am Brook Me 3. He's at Real FRG. You can find us as such on Twitter and Instagram. Don't follow us because we are angry. We are at Dodgers Nation on Twitter. What are you, Mr. Gary Lee? At Mr. Gary Lee?
Yeah, at Mr. Garrett.
He's
Nobody
at Mr.
follows
Lee.
me. I
Follow
like
Gary because he actually has
25
really good
followers.
opinions. It's very surprising, but he'll post a lot of stuff, and you're like, "Wow, I agree with that guy," or "I don't agree with that guy," and I want to argue with him, and he'll engage.
I'll engage.
So follow us on our Twitter, follow us on
Maverick.
Instagram at Official Dodgers Nation. Huge thank you to our crack production team, which is at Mr. Gary Lee, believe it or not. Huge thank you to our desk, which is brand new, and it's our first time using
And a
it.
big
And
thank
there'll
you
be
to
something
Bill
cool.
Plunkett.
And a big thank you to Mr. Bill Plunkett.
At Bill Plunkett OCR. Subscribe. Give him the 99 cents for the Orange County Register for at least those 4 weeks because it's a damn fine publication. And
Stop subscribing to The Athletic.
Bill
Go to Bill
works hard.
Plunkett.
Yeah, don't go to Athletic.
Bill Plunkett only.
There you go. Just
Anyways, we love you guys. Look forward to the second release of the podcast, and we will see you
next
next
Tuesday.
week.
Bye.
Next week.